Hey, SFNEOnline fans, this is John, your co-host of The Grove Show here, back for another episode of Why Are They Gone? This is a very special episode of Why Are They Gone? Because this is Why Are They Gone? The list of rides we miss. But first, if you're new here, please subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know when the next episodes of Why Are They Gone and other content that we do. Also, so you don't miss our weekly Grove Show episodes with me, co-host John, and the founder of the Grove Show, Dr. Giggles himself. Please also go and like our Facebook page at SFNEOnline on Facebook for breaking news of the music box industry and other interesting posts and polls that come out. And also follow our Instagram and TikTok because there's some crazy blooper videos that go on TikTok. Yeah. So, you ready? You set? Let's get into this list. So, let's get into this list. The first item on our list, the first ride, is from Six Flags Great Escape. It's called Tornado. Shh. A twister. Annie M. Don't make the house fall on a witch. I'll get you, my pretty. This was a dark ride that brought riders through the eye of the tornado in the West. It was built in 1967 and removed in 2002 and was replaced with Cannon Blaster. A lot of older park goers loved this ride and missed it a lot, and still do. I can contest to this, and also Charles can contest to this. We actually got a chance to ride this ride back when it was open. It was a really cool ride. Sadly, they don't have it there anymore, and hopefully the park can actually add in a new dark ride soon. But until then, we're going to have to miss this one. The next ride on our list is from Dorney Park. It is a wooden roller coaster known as Hercules. Yeah. This wooden coaster was built in 1988, opened in 1989, and as a world record holder for the longest drop by a wooden coaster at 151 feet. But later in this life, had some modifications that caused ridership to drop even more severely. So, in 2003, the park decided to close the ride and remove it. They ended up adding a steel coaster in a spot that's called Hydra the Revenge, and that opened later on in 2005. Sadly, we don't get that wooden coaster anymore, but Hydra's a great ride. Next on our list is from Lake Compounce. I did do an episode of Why Are They Going on this ride itself back in 2021. It's named the Sky Ride. This is a chair ride that took you on an amazing ride at the edge of the park's mountain. It gave you amazing views of the park and the surrounding area, but sadly it was removed because of safety concerns after an incident at another park in 2017. The safety concerns were because of the rough mountainous area around there. If there was ever a emergency, the rescuers weren't able to get to the place wherever on the mountain because of the rough terrain. But sadly, that park lost its Sky Ride. Next one on our list is from Six Flags New England. This one I know is a lot of people's favorites years ago. This was Colossus. This was a huge 150-foot Ferris wheel that was on the south end of the park. This was a Ferris wheel. This Ferris wheel was put in during the years when the park was Riverside Amusement Park. It gave you breathtaking views of the whole entire park. You could also see the racers from the top of the Ferris wheel from the former racetrack that was in the area of where nowadays Superman and the DC Universe is located. Colossus was sadly removed in 2005, making way for a relocation of the park's Zare Wave Swingers, renamed Gotham City Crime Wave. This Ferris wheel is very well missed by a lot of park goers that do remember this ride, and hopefully Six Flags New England can add a new one in the future. Please add a new one. I love this ride, and a lot of people did. I know you all do. Another ride on this list is from outside of New England, surprisingly, for a lot of you. This is from Universal Studios Orlando. This was the Jaws ride. This was a boat ride operated in 1990 when it opened, and took you in an adventurous face-off with the big great white shark itself. This ride was based on the Jaws movies and gave you all the action from the movies. It was a fan favorite for years until Universal decided to remove it, sadly, for Harry Potter. Yeah, I know. Jaws got removed for Harry Plopper. They removed it in 2012 to make way for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. A lot of park goers were able to enjoy this ride, including myself. I know Dr. Gills got to enjoy it a lot. Everybody around here actually did. It was a really cool ride. You really, some parts, if you didn't ride it for the first, if you rode it for the first time, you really pooped your pants at some parts. I'll put it that way. I'll be nice. The next missed ride on this list is from Carowinds. It's a wooden racing roller coaster named Thunder Road. Thunder Road, take me racing down the coaster. Thunder Road was built in 1975 by the Philadelphia Toboggan Coaster Group and opened in 1976 as part of the park's United States bicentennial year. This coaster had two identical sides, the North Carolina blue side and the South Carolina gray side. The coaster whipped you through a fun layout that you started side by side going up a chain lift and down the first drop. But each train took a turn away from each other and raced through their own on each other's side, going 58 miles an hour. And then they both met up after a final covered tunnel. This was said to be a fun coaster to ride, but it too met its fate in 2015 when Carowinds had planned a $50 million expansion that also included expanding the water park. And Thunder Road's land was where they wanted to use to expand the water park. Sadly, park goers were so upset at the news of Thunder Road's closure that they decided to make a petition and received a few thousand signatures, but that did not help at all. The park tore down the wooden coaster and expanded the water park named Carolina Harbor. Today, in the station of Copperhead Strike, contains a tribute to Thunder Road with a Centron motor oil mural. This park needs another racing wooden coaster. Please, Carowinds and Cedar Fair, put it in. But the next ride on this list kind of surprised me to get so many people to ask me to put this on the list. It's from Canopy Lake Park. It's Equinox. Another ride that I did do a Why Are They Gone on last year. This is a KMG Carnival ride. This KMG Carnival ride was brought into Canby Lake in 2012, so the park can compete with the other New England parks for thrill riders. But the park made a mistake in getting this ride, as this was a maintenance and rider nightmare, as this ride had a lot of issues. With this being a used ride, it was bound to have issues. But the park didn't think it was going to be this bad, as sadly this ride was down way more than it made riders feel the G-forces from the riding seats. The park was so aggravated with it, the park decided to scrap the ride. Only 2 years that they had it. So the park decided to close it and remove it in 2014. Surely, I hope Canby Lake learned their lesson from this big mistake. This brings us to our 8th missed ride on our list, and this comes from our good friend Jay Kite from over there in Texas. And this is from Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. It's Power Surge. This Intamin Shoot the Chutes ride was the park goer's favorite ride for years. But it, like all water rides, had ridership fluctuations with the weather. And being in Texas, the summer heat dictated that as well. The flume-like ride gave off some big waves when it dropped in and soaked anybody that was on the bridge or on the ride. This ride was also featured in Disney's movie Blank Check, as character Preston Waters, played by Brian Brozell, watched the boat coming down the drop while on the bridge. But sadly, this ride met its fate when the park said the ride should be retired in July of 2017 and was removed to make way for the first RMC single rail Raptor coaster called Wonder Woman Golden Lasso. This ride, from what Jay was saying and from what I heard, was a really good flume type ride and soaked you really good. And it was went along the quarry wall, or on the side of the quarry wall, and was really kind of hidden, tucked in there. So hopefully Jay got some good rides on it when he was out there, because I know he used to like this ride a lot as well. And any of you guys actually have ridden it, please comment below. See how you guys like this and compare it to other flume rides that are around. So the next 2 rides are actually from Six Flags New England. The first of the 2 rides is one of my favorite rides that was removed, sadly. It's BUZZSAW. This is an air flying carpet ride that was installed in the park when it was Riverside Park in 1983. This family thrill ride was a real fun ride, and also was moved multiple times inside the park as well. This ride had you sitting in rows on the left side facing right, and on the right side facing left, so you're facing each other, and just like a pirate ship ride did. So this ride would start rocking left to right, rotating up to the top, higher and higher as you went. Then it would stop at the top, and then you go around a few times, and then it would stop again at the top and then go back on the opposite direction. This ride gave you some good forces and some good screams every now and then. This ride did look like a lumberjack saw and had wood-like sides, like it was a tree bark sides almost. Sadly, this family favorite in the park met its fate later on in 2017, as Six Flags New England kept getting bigger rides throughout the years, the ridership dropped. And the ride cycles as well changed because it was getting older and older. So in 2017, the park announced that the ride would be retired and was also removed. It became the home where the ride became the home of the Teacups today because of Harley Quinn, and the Gotham area nowadays in Six Flags New England was reimagined a little bit. It was sadly a great ride, and it was sadly removed. A lot of fans did like this ride that I know of. It was a really fun ride, but we'll never get a chance to ride this ride again. They do make a new version of it. It's not as fun, to be honest. Now, the second and final ride on my list today is Black Widow. Black Widow, I did do an episode of Why Are They Gone on last year. It's an arrow looping shuttle coaster. That was a coaster that was built during the uprising of Riverside Amusement Park when it was built in 1977. This coaster was located in front of the Riverside Cyclone, now known as Wicked Cyclone. The coaster was like a boomerang back then, but it didn't actually do a turn. It just went straight down, up, and then when you did you went down a drop hill, you went through a loop, and you went back up a hill into a catch car, and then you did it backwards again and went backwards to the front. This was one of the first thrill rides that Riverside did have, that formed the attendance and made the attendance get out really high as well, for thrill seekers in New England. Later on, the ride went through a repaint and a little bit of a rechange of the name. Basically did become a Black Widow. But sadly, Premier Parks actually owned Riverside Park. They bought it. And then in 1999, just before before Riverside became Six Flags New England, in 1999, they decided to close and remove it. And sadly, they removed Black Widow and replaced it with what is there nowadays as Flashbacks, a Vekoma boomerang. Sadly, we'll never see another Arrow looping shuttle coaster again because Arrow's out of business, and nobody really wants to buy those type of rides anymore. Those are a Nova style ride. So, but that's our list for today. That was our first list of rides that we miss, and hopefully we can do more. If you have more rides to add to this list, please comment below. Also, if you want to see any Why Are They Gone episodes about a certain ride or about a certain park, please comment also below. Because without your participation, Why Are They Gone won't grow even more. And same thing with the SFNEOnline YouTube and Facebook pages as well. Also, if you like this video, please press like, and also put on your notifications for more Why Are They Gone videos and all our other content that will be coming out soon as well. And this was John, your co-host of The Grow Show here. And I want to say, keep on coasting, y'all. Peace.